Hello, welcome. I am Kay Johnston, CWBN Chair, as well as the 2019 ATHENA International Leadership Award recipient. On the behalf of the Triangle East Chamber of Commerce, we are proud to present and elated that you could join us for the 2020 ATHENA International Leadership Award celebration. The ATHENA Award is presented to an individual who is providing valuable service to their community and for actively assisting women in their attainment of professional excellence and leadership skills. The ATHENA Award highlights recipients what they have accomplished, in addition to paving a path for future successes. The award is established through local host organizations in partnership with ATHENA's national underwriters, local businesses, and individual sponsors. By honoring exceptional leaders, the ATHENA Award program seeks to inspire others to achieve excellence. ATHENA Leadership Award nominees must meet each of the following criteria: demonstrate excellence, creativity, and initiative in their business or profession, provide valuable service to improve the quality of life for others in their community, and actively assist women in achieving their full leadership potential. At this moment, I would like to recognize our presenting sponsor and our award sponsor. Our presenting sponsor for the celebration is Johnston Health. And at this time, we will have Mr. Tom Williams to provide us with a few comments.
Hello, I'm honored to represent UNC Johnston Health as the presenting sponsor for Triangle East Chamber's ATHENA Award celebration. I think it's wonderful this event is paying tribute to each of these amazing women for their professional excellence, for providing valuable service to their community, and for actively assisting other women in their attainment of leadership skills. We all know how much it means to have a strong woman to support us and mentor us. I'm reminded of it every day with my wife and my mom. I've been in healthcare field for over 30 years, and I've been lucky to work alongside many successful women. I also see each day how they juggle their job, their family, and all their community responsibilities. I know that each of our nominees do the same, and it is only fitting that we recognize them for all their contributions today. It is particularly noteworthy that these women have focused on taking their successes and passing along the knowledge and leadership skills they have acquired to help other women grow, which also benefits the future of our community. In closing, let me be the first to congratulate all of you on being nominated for the ATHENA Award. You're a talented and hardworking group who is truly deserving of this special recognition. On behalf of UNC Johnston Health, thank you for what you do to make our community a better place.
Thank you, Mr. Williams, and thank you, Johnston Health. Our award sponsor this afternoon is from Carl Parnell, and we have Mr. Chandler Parnell that will provide us with a few comments. Chandler?
Hey, everybody. Thank you, Kay, and thank you, Tom. Those were good words. I follow in with that. I got called out of place here because I'm in Clayton with my wife. We've seen each other just a few hours, since COVID hit. Between school, coming to the house, career coming to the house. Usually when we do see each other, it's business or family. So we skipped a few hours, played hooky today, and went to the bookstore in Clayton. So that's why I'm here in the car. To me, it's been the year of the woman and the mother and the one that takes care of the business. Y'all are all very special to me in this community. They asked me if I wanted to give the award. I said no, because I'd give the award to all of them. So God bless y'all. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you again, Chandler Parnell, and he is with Carl Parnell. Again, our presenting sponsor, Johnston Health, and our award sponsor, Carl Parnell. At this time, we will have the introduction of our keynote speaker from Ms. Katie Crowder.
I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Twyla Casey Wells. She is the Vice President of Advancement and Community Outreach, as well as the Executive Director of Johnston Community College Foundation. Dr. Well has worked in the area of higher education advancement for over 28 years, serving in various capacities to include Grants Director, Public Information Officer, and Director of Development. Prior to entering the field of higher education, Dr. Wells owned her own specialty foods and gift basket business and was a professional singer. A native of Johnston County, Dr. Wells obtained a Bachelor of Music with a concentration in vocal performance from the University of North Carolina of the Arts. Her master's and doctorate degrees from North Carolina State University in Education with a specialization in higher education with emphasis on adult and community college education. In addition to her formal degrees, Dr. Wells holds a certificate in nonprofit management from Duke University. The 2018 Triangle East Chamber of Commerce recipient of the ATHENA International Award, Dr. Wells currently serves as the immediate past chairs of Leadership Johnston and the CWBN and serves on the JOCO Works Planning Committee. She attends Progressive Presbyterian Church and advocates for the special needs community as a result of having lost her 7-year-old daughter, Caroline, in December of 2009 to the effects of Rett syndrome. Dr. Wells lives with her 18-year-old son, John, in the house her grandparents built in the early 1930s on a small working farm in Princeton, where she enjoys digging in the dirt for fun. I'd like to introduce my friend and a mentor, Dr. Twyla Wells.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen here. I'm so thrilled to be here today, and I can tell you what it meant to me 2 years ago when I was, just as you each are today, amongst an esteemed group of women and that do so much for our community. So I too want to applaud all of our nominees this year, and I also want to extend a particular gratitude to Kay Johnson for your leadership of the CWBN during these certainly unprecedented times. So again, thank everyone, and thank you for allowing me to be here. I thought we'd talk a little bit about an Athena mindset today, and particularly developing one in midst of times of uncertainty. Athena is a Greek goddess, and the leadership model for Athena is designed to be a living model. So it's not one that's stagnant, but it's certainly one that was developed to continually meant to be evolving and for it to be adaptable and call upon us as leaders to be adaptable in particular settings. There are 8 principles of enlightened leadership, and Martha Mayhood Mertz is the founder of Athena, and she has a book, Becoming Athena. Some of you I know have that book, and the principles I'll be talking about are taken from there today. 8 principles of enlightened leadership is to live authentically, learn constantly, advocate fiercely, act courageously, foster collaboration, build relationships, give back, and then lastly, celebrate. Just to dive a little bit more deeply into each of these, living authentically, really it's about our core existence and focusing on who we are. I really feel strongly you need to know who you are before you really can lead not only yourself, but then help lead other people. And it's also, to me, acting with integrity. That's a key component. And it's being an integrated person where all of our parts of our being, our lives, our spirit, everything comes together into connection and in harmony with each other. Also, learning constantly. This is something else that I'm really big on. I think about learning and lifelong learning. It's something that we are ever evolving, and particularly again in times like this when we're called upon to maybe have to pivot and to do things differently, and that calls upon us to be flexible and ability to really learn and do things differently. So it's not static, but certainly again evolving. Futurist Alvin Toffler wrote, "The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write, but those who cannot learn or unlearn or relearn. And I really think that's so true. We all have to be, no matter what your education level, we all have to be willing to take a step back and consider new things and new ways of looking at things. Advocating fiercely. I think truly you got to have that inner fire. You got to be passionate and personally devoted to advancing your beliefs. And those beliefs are also what you do to help lead other people. So it's a place of being internally passionate and being pushing even on those days when you don't want to be pushed or you may not want to do what you're called to do. And also when you're advocating fiercely, you're not letting your opponents or your doubters kind of play into what you're doing, but you push forward. And we also, I think, are called upon to use our moral compass and our action plan. That's where we can bring those two converge together and really create change, not only for ourselves, but also our communities. So fierce advocacy, when we couple that with respect and compassion, that really generates a point and a center where we can be a tremendous force and do good work for everyone. Acting courageously. I think a lot of people may think, well, I don't act courageously. You know, what is courageous might be those who go out in law enforcement, or those who are faced with, even in our healthcare right now, they're acting courageously. But I would challenge each of you to say that you're often called upon to act courageously every single day. And in doing this, it gives us permission to own our acts of courage at whatever level we may be in our everyday lives. And I think if we leave that courage and we think that other people are going to do it, then we really disempower instead of empowering ourselves, then we're really disempowering ourselves and those that are also in our care or under our leadership. And it's important, I think, then also to be able to see and know that courage when we see it, whether it's in ourselves or whether it's in other people too as well. And again, I would just say to practice that courage daily and to choose it and see it as a way of our being. Fostering collaboration. Now, that's where we can be a mobilizer, when we really can be a catalyst for change, when we're really collaborating with others and we draw other people in. And particularly, we may really try to be intentional about bringing people that might otherwise be marginalized, may not otherwise have a voice. If through our collaboration we can give them a voice, if we can give them a place at the table, that can be so very meaningful in terms of bringing about change. And when we model that collaboration within ourselves, then we're sharing and then we lend it to other people. We're really sharing those reins of leadership. We're allowing other people to learn how to be leaders so that we can have that next evolution of leaders in our community, in our homes, in our families, and within our organizations. It says ATHENA leaders welcome others to the work of leadership. And I had to think about when Tom was talking about his wife and his mother, I was thinking about my mother and my grandmother as I was working on this presentation, because they probably didn't see themselves as leaders and they probably didn't see themselves as collaborators, but they certainly were very much collaborating. When I grew up on a farm, we live here on a working farm, and they certainly collaborated with each other in terms of doing things. My grandmother would have big quilting parties where they would all develop and create these beautiful quilts together, and they were really collaborating together to do things collectively. And I tell everybody, I said I wouldn't have the degrees I have now had I not had the help of my mother and my grandmother, because they certainly supported me through that while I had small children and worked full time. And so I say their names should be on those degrees alongside mine as well. One thing that's critical and I think is very, very important is building relationships. But Martha says in her book, it's also one that's most subject to being fraudulent. We're more connected today in many ways. We're all connected through technology, devices, all these sort of things, but it also can also be very, very difficult to have true, authentic connections. And so it's not easy to do, but as she says, we're not called to be simulating relationships, but we're called to really truly build relationships. And building authentic relationships requires us to be patient. They can sometimes be painstaking if we're trying to build relationships across maybe some of our societal issues that we're facing, things that we might feel differently about. It might be difficult, but they're certainly worth it in the long haul to take the time and effort to support each other and really get to know each other and to build those authentic relationships together. Giving back, that's another one. You know, certainly that's something that I think we all should do, and feel that it's a very important thing. It's the right thing to do. My dad was one of 16 children, but he was very much a philanthropist in my eyes, because though he didn't have much growing up and then later on became successful, he always made sure everybody else in the neighborhood had things too, and was certainly willing to give back. So we learned that, my brother and I, at an early age in our lives, to give back and to share what we had. And I think that's an important thing that we do, whether it's our personal resources or our time, which is one of the most cherished things that we have. And also having sincerity in that. You know, it's easy sometimes maybe just to write a check to something, but really if you're sincere about that and you really want to be involved and engaged, if you make that giving back a part of who you are and a part of the essence of who you are, then I think you too will find a lot of success personally and in your career as well. And then ATHENA leaders, I think, work to create that, that contribution that's not really something about us, but it's more about the people we're supporting, the things we're doing. At our foundation at the Johnston Community College, we're supporting our students. We want them to be successful, and we know that we can transform their lives, often through things like the scholarship funding or things that we do. It's important to realize our actions matter, even if it's in the tiniest of ways, that really should fuel our passion and our desire and our fuel to carry on even in these difficult times. And one of the last things is celebrating. You know, it's really important. And sometimes we're so busy and we get so immersed in going from one thing to the next, it's hard to find that time. But that too, I think, can really transform us when we come together and we work collaboratively across lines of belief, across our philosophical differences that we may have. But if we're all working for the common good together, that can be really so meaningful. One of the quotes, Barbara Hoffman says, "Stop worrying about the potholes in the road and instead celebrate the journey." So again, just want to tie this in and kind of wrap this up quickly. Is talking about the mindset, and the ATHENA goddess is about warfare and wisdom. And so I thought about, well, if you're going to position yourself in terms of how do you become ATHENA-like, is one of the main things I think is leveraging the power of our reflection. I've heard lots of people saying during the times of COVID that they've really had more time to reflect on themselves. They've got some of the quietness of working at home. And so when you're doing that, you take your core values and you take maybe the purpose of where you are and what you're doing. And if you do that consistently enough, that can translate into really elevating your leadership, whether it's your leadership at home, leadership in your church, leadership in your organization, whatever it may be. Those core values and beliefs that you have, along with your purpose or what you're doing and the consistency, that brings about some peace, I think, during these tumultuous times. If you can rely on those. For me, my Christian faith drives me, and from that, and then the purpose of what I'm doing professionally really helps ground me in times of uncertainty. So, and thinking about the warfare, we're in a warfare right now, right? With COVID, with the pandemic, with all the dynamics going on in our nation. So I want to quickly talk about how I think 5 characteristics, and this is from Sun Tzu's The Art of War, and is one of the things is being disciplined, being a disciplined leader, so that if you've got high standards for yourself and for your colleagues and for your team members, that can really make the difference between your organization winning or losing, you personally being fulfilled in terms of being a successful leader. The second thing is managing and focusing on your particular skills that you have when you're leading teams. Sun Tzu wrote it, management of many is the same whether you've got a team of 2 or you've got a team of 200. It's really about the organization and your skill set in terms of what you bring to that. It's so important to make sure that your team has a lot of confidence in you, whether again it's your family or whether it's your team that Mr. Williams has at the hospital, hundreds of employees that he has underneath him. They've got to have the confidence in order to be a good organization and a confidence in the leadership. Thirdly is being aware and being willing to talk about your weaknesses and your strengths. There's things that I know that I'm not particularly strong in, and so I try to hire people that I know are going to complement me. There's things that I do really well, but there's things I'm really poor at. And so if I can complement by hiring people that are got those skill sets, and I can continually try to learn and the things that I am weak in, that can really help our whole organization overall. Fourth is being wise and being strategic. Action without wisdom is really kind of going to be worthless, really. If we don't have the wisdom to make those good sound decisions, to develop our critical thinking skills as leaders, and then work to continually to improve those, and thinking ahead, anticipating things so that we don't encounter issues, but yet that we can overcome those, that's really just critically important in terms of what we're working to achieve. The last lesson is always maintaining your trust in humanity. It's so critical, I think, for us to be ethical in everything that we do. We're all human and we all make mistakes, but when we're ethical, when you know you're doing the right thing, if we come to an impasse with my team and we think about something, we go, you know, what's the best for our students? At the end of the day, that should drive all of our decisions. So it's important for our team members, for each of us to trust each other, and certainly for them to trust me as a leader as well. And not only for us as team members to serve our leaders, but if we're serving each other, if we serve our colleagues across divisions, within the organizational structure, again, we're supporting each other and respecting each other, and that's really, really important. So I love this quote, what got us here won't get us there. You got to do things differently, right? So successful people become great leaders when they learn to shift the focus from themselves to others. Again, we're all human, and we all have our personal desires, but I think if we can stay focused on that, particularly during this time, I do think we're in somewhat of a warfare, if you will. And if we can support each other and respect each other and come to each other with humility and compassion and respect, I think that can make such a tremendous difference in our own personal lives, but in the lives of each other as well. Just want to wrap it up and again say congratulations to our nominees. Thank you for having me today, and I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Twyla Wells, for your words of encouragement today as you discuss an Athena mindset and providing us with resources and tools that we can place in our toolbox for the days and years to come. So thank you so much. We applaud you for your speaking on today. So thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I would like to recognize our selection committee. We have our committee chair, retired banker Chris Mancuso, Michelle Brownlee, real estate broker for Carwell Banker Advantage, April Culver, Vice President of Marketing, Communications and Strategy from Johnston Health, Joe Callahan, Associate VP of Economic and Workforce Development, from Johnston Community College, Crystal Roberts, Chief of Equity, Information and Student Services from Johnston County Public School System. Please, again, let's take the time to just a small clap for appreciation for those who took the time to serve on the selection committee today. A moment that has brought us here this afternoon, I would like to introduce to you each of our 6 Athena nominees. First, Ms. Donna Baylor Taylor. As the President and CEO of Johnston County Visitors Bureau, Ms. Taylor works tirelessly to bolster the tourism industry in Johnston County and to support the needs of the many businesses and organizations within the county, as well as the towns. Under her direction, the JCVB has worked to creatively address the needs of our county as a whole through their initiatives like the JoCo Hospitality Association, the curated trips like Girlfriend's Getaway, Beer, Wine, and Shine Tale, partnerships with the media, and supporting the efforts of tourism partners. It is no surprise that the JCVB is regularly recognized as an industry leader, given the incredible value it brings to Johnston County. In addition to her work at the JCVB, Donna is a valuable member of many teams within Johnston County, working hard behind the scenes to continue moving the ball forward. You won't see grass growing under Miss Bailey's feet. Again, Donna Bailey Taylor with CEO of the Johnston County Visitors Bureau. Our second nominee is Ms. Cassandra Brooks. The efforts of one person can truly make a difference in the world. Cassandra is one of those people. She demonstrates excellence, creativity, and initiative daily. Above and beyond is her normal pace, and she genuinely shows compassion and kindness to all. With a BS in business management, Cassandra formerly served as a management executive at IBM. She returned to school to receive a master's in education and began her new career in 2009 as a family child care home. She is now the owner and the operator of 2 5-star child care facilities in Garner and in Clayton, and serves as the NC Pre-K contractor on both locations. Resources have sometimes been scarce, yet she always finds a way to ensure that families' basic needs are met. Little Believers facilities are strategically located in low-income, high-need communities. Cassandra knows that with every struggling child comes a struggling family. So the service she offers goes well beyond the classroom. Unique to Little Believers' business model is free access to social work and mental health professionals to help families and children work through trauma, financial literacy, food insecurity, and any other trials that family may be dealing with. Our second nominee, Ms. Cassandra Brooks. Miss Joyce Jenkins fell in love with cooking when she was 9 years old. Her dream was to own her own catering company. She accomplished that and has been working at it for the past 2 decades, building an excellent reputation for quality Southern cooking in Johnston County and beyond. More recently, Ms. Jenkins took the calculated risk to expand her business, yes, even in the midst of a pandemic. And while it has taken longer than she thought, 2 years, she has now opened a catering venue in Pine Level. Weathering the pandemic, coming up with creative solutions to curbside service and delivery, and renovating the historic building located at 119 Pine Street in Pine Level, shows Mrs. Joyce resiliency, creativity, problem solving, and faith. Miss Joyce Jenkins. Dr. Marilyn Pearson is known and well respected in the community as a health professional who has focused on building partnerships to improve the access to health care in this community. In addition to what she does every day, she has become one of the primary public health resources of the county, especially during this COVID-19 period. With close collaboration with town leaders, the State Division of Health, and Johnston Health, she and her team are able to provide a continuous flow of screenings and up-to-date guidelines and statistics to keep our local residents aware and safe. Dr. Pearson has mentored a lot of women within the health department who have grown professionally through the years, as well as other organizations that she holds leadership roles in. She currently serves on the Johnston Health Hospital Board and provides the hospital leadership with an external public health perspective. Dr. Marilyn Pearson. Evelyn Sanders is an out-of-the-box thinker. She engages her staff and consistently thrives for innovative programs and services for her clients through internal workshops with professionals who assist in renewing and revitalizing her company's service. She partners with local nonprofits across Johnston County and focuses primarily on meeting the needs of older adults and at-risk youth by supporting programs for these groups. Through her organization and volunteer efforts through her sorority, Ms. Sanders is the epitome of promoting and championing opportunities for developing young women to be entrepreneurs and leaders. She provides opportunities to her employees to be involved with community leadership opportunities and provides professional development for her employees across the board with an aim focus on females. Ms. Evelyn Sanders. Our final nominee for this afternoon is Ms. Gabriella Woodson. Ms. Gabriella opened her business at the young age of 26. She mentors other young entrepreneurs, is very involved in the community, runs an honest business, and cares about others. She saw the need for catering and event planning and figured out a way to do both at a great price, exceptional services, and amazing quality. Gabriella is involved in the community and cares for others. Gabriella has been mentoring women for over 7 years now and has helped several of those women open businesses. She was also awarded the 2019-2020 ATHENA PowerLink Award. This just goes to show how much she invests in the futures of others. Please join me with a resounding hand clap for our 6 nominees. There is not a drum roll here, but if I could have a drum roll, at this time, I would like to present our 2020 ATHENA International Leadership, Always Practical, Thoughtful, and Wise. Always a mentor who respects, encourages, and supports those around her. She has mentored many women within her organization, and these women have grown professional throughout their career. As a leader within her community, she is passionate about the work that she does. She is well respected in the community, always seeking opportunities to build collaborative relationships. She is the wife of 1, the mother of 2, a supervisor of 140. And during this pandemic, She has been Johnston County's go-to medical professional, ensuring that we remain well-informed. I present to you
Dr. Marilyn Pearson.
Huh. Wow. Thank you. After hearing about all these wonderful women, I think all of them deserve this award. I'm about speechless at this point. But I do want to thank a few people, my husband and my children. I couldn't do what I do without their support, because I'm at work all the time and doing things all the time, trying to help our community. But every decision I make thinking about the health of my children and making this a better place for them. So I want to thank my staff, and because I couldn't do what I do without any of them. I tell them all the time they make me look good. So I appreciate all the work that they do. And then I want to thank all of the leaders who've been supportive of me here in the county, at the state level, even at the federal level. And lastly, and most importantly, my parents. I am who I am because of them. I grew up in South Carolina, in an area where we didn't have much, but we had each other. And my parents made sacrifices for me so that I could be where I am today. So I do want to thank them for all that they've done, the sacrifices they made for me. But thank you.
Thank you again, Dr. Pearson. Thank you again, nominees. You are wonderful women, and Johnston County is so blessed to have you to be a part of this county and this community. So thank each and every one of you for what you bring to this community. At this time, closing remarks will be done by no other than Triangle East Chamber President and CEO, Mike Mancuso.
Thank you so much, and congratulations to all of you. Thank you, ladies, so much for your leadership. I'm overwhelmed by all of the wonderful things that you do for us every day. And I'm very honored that the Chamber, with the help of our sponsors, could really highlight all your accomplishments and thank you for all that you do for us. You know, if anything is true, as we've gone through just the last 7 or 8 months, leadership is without the doubt the shining light that gets us through. And all of you have been that shining, guiding light that's gotten these communities around us through some difficult times. And Dr. Pearson, I can't thank you enough. She's on my speed dial, and every time there's a question that flows through, she's right on it. I can't imagine how she does as much as she does, and very happy that you're our award winner this year. If there is anything I can ever be doing for any of you ladies, please let me know. And we're just thrilled to have you in our communities and be able to honor you. I do want to take just a second to thank all our sponsors again. Johnston Health for being our presenting sponsor, Call Purnell for being our award sponsor today. Our giving back sponsor is the Johnston County Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Phi Society today. Our fierce advocates, Casey's Floral and Catering, Carolina Packers, and Coates Hearing Clinic. and our celebration sponsors, Carroll Pharmacy, Quick Shirts, 2MQ Consulting, and Harbor K. Johnston. Without their help, we wouldn't be able to take this time to be able to honor such great leaders as you. Thank you for your work, and again, anything we can ever be doing to help you, please let us know. Thank you so much.